The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray, feeling good, Lewis. We were going to have Adrienne Togaray trading on target as our guest at 9:30. Always fun to talk to her. We're going to have her as a regular guest because the psychology of trading is very, very important, which leads us to the, I posted the charts, of course, of the FTSE and the DAX, as you can see, but it leads to our first question, and that is, how do I handle the news? And folks, when I watch the news, I have it on mute. I don't want to listen to what they're saying. I just try to look at the headline to see what the headline is and then see how the market reacts to that. That's really what I do. I don't look at the fundamentals or anything like that. And, you know, sometimes it gets me in trouble, but more often than not, it saves my bacon. So that's, that's what I do when I look at these things. I'll talk a little bit later about the grain market because, you know, I put a major sellout in the grains for Sunday night, and then with the market open sharply higher, I said, well, we better wait a day. Well, that one day was all it needed because now the market has broken down, even with the incredibly bullish news. And I was alerting the folks to that, but it'll give us a chance to get in it because, you know, there's people are still very, very bullish, but the news is now extremely bullish, and the market is not acting that way. So that in itself is something that you want to pay attention to. That's market feedback, telling you what the market is, trying to tell you. Now, we have a question from one of our friends back in Philadelphia, near Philadelphia, a young man named Jeff, and his question is, he went long some cattle down there at the Gartley pattern, down there at the 109 level. It's now trading at 112.90. And Jeff was concerned about the fact that we're coming in here to the Thanksgiving Day weekend, and he's concerned about his risk. And so, Jeff, the best way to handle this is to call your broker and transfer that contract, or how many you have, over to my account, and I will accept the risk. Since you've got a 3-point lead in that puppy, I will be happy to accept that risk. I'm being a little facetious here, but Jeff, if you bought that down there anywhere near 109 and it's up 3 cents from that point, it's really simple. First of all, it gapped up, wide range up, extremely bullish. You put your stop at the low of that bar, which is 109 and change, so you've locked in about $450 profit. And then you go to church, take out your rosary or your worry beads, whatever you have, and you'll be able to, say your prayers, and maybe you'll have one heck of a run. We don't know what's going to happen with any of these things, and nobody does. That's the whole part of, what we're doing with these things. We really don't know. And nobody else does either. That's the whole beauty of what we're trying to do here. What you're doing, Jeff, and it's normal, is what you're doing is you're looking at the most important cycle that we have, which is the 9-inch cycle, the one from your left ear to your right ear. Once you get that one right, the rest is okay. But remember, when you're in this market like this, remember the Chinese characters for risk and opportunity are the same. It depends how it's used in the sentence. And so here now you have a sentence when you were buying down there at 109, you had a risk, correct? Now you have an opportunity because the market has moved rapidly up in your favor to the tune of about $1,300. Now, sure, you could take that into the take it out today, or even take it out tomorrow if it's higher. But the way I would do it, with that gap up in the wide range, I would move the stop up to like 110.50, and if it reverses, and you're still going to, bank a few Christmas presents. So that's how I would handle it, But you've asked the right questions. The question is you just don't know which way to go, and it's really not. It's not. No one knows the answer to that question. You really don't know, and don't try not to second guess yourself, because remember, We've talked to several people, Rich Anderson being one, and he's mentioned to the work that Mark Douglas did. And one of the main things that these people that Mark interviewed, and many of them were interviewed right here in the office, is the thing that they really didn't like the most was leaving a lot of money on the table. And believe me, the only way you're not going to leave money on the table is if you get the high tick or the low tick. And believe me, that just doesn't happen very often. So I think that's important to remember, that you're not going to get it all. You're going to get a little bit here and there, a little bit here and there. One of my favorite books, of course, I've mentioned many times, is the book called My Own Story, which is the autobiography of Bernard Baruch. And he said he's made his fortunes between the middle of the bottom and the high from the top. He said, I made my fortunes in the middle. I never tried to get the bottom. I never tried to get the top. I just try to take a piece out of the middle. And if you can do that, you're going to be just fine. And you don't have to be right a lot. If you're right just 50% of the time and you've got the odds in your favor, which the ABCD pattern will put you, you will be successful eventually. You might take a while to figure out how to use it for yourself, but the ABC patterns are there. They work. They're not perfect, but nothing else is either. So all I'm trying to show you is it's a methodology that tells you pretty much where you are. Now, we've had a couple of nice runs here in some of these things, and one of the things that one of the questions that someone asked me this morning by email was to take a look at the gold market, because I've been talking about 1810 in the gold market for a very, very long time. And so what I did was, if you'll notice here, right above the September, there's a little box there that says 1805. That was the ABCD pattern that we were looking at. But since that time, folks, we've had 2 months, and you'll be able to see here that a lot of things happened. You see, you went sideways. There was a lot of distribution in here, and that tells us this market's heading down somewhere between 1710, 1720, and 1700 is what it looks like to me. I mean, it's had a big thrust down here, a week or so ago. We had the little 382 rally up there at 1895, giving you a beautiful chance to add to the position. We added again at 1846. And we were doing that because we're following the rules of Tommy Terrific, Tom Hugard, press the winners. And that's what we were trying to do. And so far it's worked. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But all I was trying to do was to, get the trend on your side and see if you can, catch something like this, because those are the big ones that, really make you quite happy. Now, I'm sure a lot of people didn't do that, but that's what you're supposed to do. That's what Tom talks about in his paper. The best loser wins. And that's what it's all about. It's not how much money you make, it's how much money you don't lose. So we're looking at, hey, folks, we're only $80 away. That's where we were on Friday. So, all it takes is a couple of really bad days here in the gold, and we'll be down there near that 1720 to 1717 level that we're looking at. And the reason why I changed the target was the fact that there was so much more time that came into that pattern at that particular point. In other words, when we bottomed on the 21st of September at 1842, we then rallied $110 up to $120 up to 1863, and that's where we put the short on it. That was at 1953. Okay, we added the second one at 1895 and the third one at 1847, and now we have our stop at 1847 on everything. We'll be right back.
If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, Taz understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the Taz Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the Taz Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today. Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, folks, since we're talking about patterns here, we're going to talk about the E-mini S&P, because the pattern that you're seeing here right now that I just posted up is exactly what we're seeing in gold about 3 weeks ago, when it was up there at 1966. This is the same type of pattern. If you remember yesterday, I pointed out to you the fact that those 382, those dark black lines there, you see those dark black lines? Market rallies up to the 382 and sells off, rallies up to the 382 and sells off, rallies up to the 382, then breaks above it and then sells off. But if you looked at it real closely, you see those sell-offs on each one of the 382s. Those were exactly equal, folks. Now, that should mean something, I would think. I mean, that tells you the markets are repeating over and over again. So what have we done since that time? I said that we're heading towards 3605. How high did we get last night? 3608. And that's where I sent this out, and I said, this is where you want to be short. You got to put your stop above the 78% level, but that's what you're supposed to do. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. That's really the nature of what we're doing. But this is nothing more than an ABCD pattern over the last 7 days from the high that we made back there at 36.37. We dropped 100 handles down to 35.40, 97 handles. And what we do, we rallied up here to where we're sitting now at this 61% ABCD. That is a Gartley pattern. On page 222 in Gartley's book, he spent 2 full pages looking at the market, and he said that anytime you see an ABCD move against the trend, that's the best way to trade it. And that's what that pattern's about. You're against the trend, but you have an ABCD pattern. So you're trading in the direction of the shorter term trend. And the way you define trend is, you have to find out what time frame you're on, because if you looked at a 5-minute chart, this thing's going straight up. But if you look at an hourly chart, it's not quite doing that. So you've got to define what your threads are. Well, Terry, it might look like 1785, and I think that it probably will get there. But I really think we're heading down to 1720 to 1717. That there's just a lot of stuff there, folks, in that gold down there. I might be wrong, and I'm wrong a lot. But if you look at this really closely, you've got a little bit of a something moving in the right direction here, because there should be some support at the you're right, at 1785 would be a 78% retracement. That's very good, Terry. That's going to be a real interesting one there at the 1787, and then the one after that is down at the 618 between 1717 and 1700. That's the one I'm looking at. But you notice that silver is acting a little better. I posted a chart in the silver. We haven't taken out all those lows yet, but we're very close to below the $23 an ounce level, and that would tell us we're going to be heading down too. But there's also the possibility here, folks, that we have to pay attention here, that there's a possibility that high we made in the gold at 2090, roughly 2090 in the gold, might be the high. I don't think that it is. And the reason why I say that is the fact that, we haven't had a really good ABCD correction in 4 years, since 2016. That's when we were down at 1,030, and you made a 3 drive to a bottom pattern. That was on December of 2015, and we've been up for 5 years. And so what we're looking at now is to see a correction. This is going to be more than 6 months. So that's be what you would get. And it would also be the ABCD correction. And this is where most people right now that are long the gold are feeling pretty sad. But, this is what you have to look for. You have to look for breaks to buy stuff like this. So that's what it says. It says to buy it down there when you get close to 1,700. That's going to be 300 and be almost $400 an ounce, and then you'll be able to look at it. Now, Terry's talking about Bitcoin. Yes, that's correct. Bitcoin is just flat out bullish, folks. If you take a look at this chart, we've been talking about it for quite some time, not involved, but just talking. But you'll notice here where I've marked that little square there at the 16,000 level. Watch for that pullback, folks. That would be a 38% retracement. And if you read the newsletter this week, you'll notice that Bitcoin has had 4 major corrections that in this market ever since it started, and really since 2009, and all of them have been right at 38% or 78%. So we could get a pullback to 16,000 and still be extremely bullish, because that's nothing more than a 382 retracement. So this is not a bubble, folks. This is far from it. We went to 19,900 in January of 2018. We backed all the way off to 3,200, and look where we are now. We're at 19,000 again. This is not a bubble. Something's happening with blockchains and probably cryptocurrencies. It may or may not be related to politics or not. I don't know. But frankly, folks, if the governments wanted to stop it, they could easily do it. You could get China and the U.S. to come together in some type of agreement, and they would say, okay, that's it, we're shutting it down, and they could shut it down. Now, it might go to the dark web or something like that, which I would imagine it would probably do, because it's open source data, and that's what it do. But so many people are taking it now. PayPal is taking it, and a whole bunch of other things. And I think my beeper is going off, and my guess is that gold just tagged. It did. It just broke the 1790. What did it hit? 1799.80. So that's the first time that it's done that in quite some time. We're still holding to see if it's going to come to that lower level, but we'll be watching it, very, very closely here to see if it does that. We did get below it for just a second here, but that's, we're only 10 cents away from the other bottom, so I don't know where it's going to happen. Well, we got 1 more minute to go here before we talk to Adrian Togaray tomorrow, which will be the last day of the week here for TFNN. We are closed Thursday and Friday. We're going to have Shane Smulyan on and he will be our guest on Friday. So we'll be looking forward to listening to see what the young man has for us. And he always has some super information. So let's keep those things in mind as we look at some of these other things. We have another trade that we just put on today. We have 3 trades on basically gold and short the gold, short the British pound, which is doing quite well, and then we have another one that is not quite doing so well, and that is the crude oil. We sold the crude oil at $43.55, and it's trading at $43.88. We have a stop of $44.15 on that because you have to risk 70 cents if you're going to trade the crude oil. But we are above all those levels. We're still hovering right near the 61% retracement at 44, which should be some type of a magic number. But frankly, we'll be watching it, closely here to see. But you have to risk 70 cents here in the crude oil if you're going to do that, because it's like risking $7 in the gold, because that is. By the way, someone just dropped a little note and says, why did it stop exactly at 1800 at 1799.80? Folks, some people buy at round numbers. That's all that means. It doesn't mean any more than that. It really doesn't. It's just flat out, that's all it means. We'll be right back with Adrian Togaray trading on Target.
Larry Pesavento watches the markets 24/7, and now is a great time to try out his daily trading service, Fibonacci 24/7. Larry publishes videos and charts for subscribers throughout the week when warranted, and every weekend he puts out a thorough report covering worldwide markets, futures, commodities, and currencies with Fibonacci retracement levels, possible trading setups and zones, and stops and targets for all recommendations included. Larry applies the principles he's developed over decades of trading while analyzing a variety of markets for subscribers. To see for yourself the types of videos, charts, and analysis that Larry provides for his subscribers, sign up for Fibonacci 24/7 today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under the newsletter tab. You'll also gain instant access to Larry's archived subscriber webinar from earlier this year. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Sign up today. If you're a trader in the market looking to find the path that leads to maximizing profits while decreasing risk, then now is a great time to try out Dave White's daily trading service, The Path of Least Resistance. Through the use of options and equity trades, Dave advises his subscribers on a daily basis of the current market conditions and what possible trade setups are on the horizon. The Path of Least Resistance is published every trading morning, often with updates intraday when initiating trades or closing out positions. Dave White has advised his clients of some outstanding winning options and equity trades in recent months, and now is a great time to try it out for yourself. New subscribers to the Path of Least Resistance receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the types of options and equity trades that are available by signing up for the Path of Least Resistance today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com and selecting the newsletter tab. Sign up today. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks, and I believe we have Adrienne Togaray of Trading on Target on the line.
Hello, Larry. Good to be with you.
AT, how do you be? You doing okay over there?
I'm doing well. And yourself?
Yeah, pretty good. Didn't we meet in 1988? Is that when we first met?
You're better at memory than I am. I don't know when we met, but I can tell you this. I miss you a lot. The shows were wonderful, and you always treated me to breakfast. My assistant and I, we remember those things.
Oh yeah, that's. Do you ever ask yourself why I did that?
I just assumed that you loved me.
You got it. That's absolutely correct. I was actually trying to, folks, what I did was we would be in Vegas and they would be having breakfast and I would pick up the check for the table there thinking I would be a big shot, which I never did fool anybody. But that was the main reason. I was so impressed with the stuff that you did. Say, I've got to really try to learn what this woman is trying to tell me because, it was really great. But anyway, tell us what you're looking at today, Adrienne, and then we'll give you some time to tell the folks what you do, and then also would like to have you on as a regular guest if we can, because you do have some of the best stuff out there, and the mental part of this business is more important than all the technical stuff you can put. So why don't you go ahead and start, young lady?
Well, thank you, Larry. And today I want to talk about depression because it is so prevalent right now. Now, I have to distinguish between clinical depression, which is a chemical imbalance that you need to seek drugs or therapy, but even in emotional depression, you could need drugs and therapy as well. But mainly I'm talking about the temporary depression that so many people are going through right now, and it will affect your trading. I want to start with a story. There's a fellow that I work with many, many years. When I start with him, he only had about $50,000 in his account. Now he's up to over $20 million. He is happily married to a wonderful lady. He has 5 beautiful children. Everybody's healthy. He lives in a gorgeous mansion. And we talk on a regular basis, and he tells me he is tremendously depressed. Now, there are so many people that are going through stuff right now, and they have far less than what he has going for him. But the chemistry in the air, the environment is so toxic on so many levels that we're all feeling it. So I'd like to first talk about the reasons that people are depressed. First of all, of course, there's the worldwide thing of the COVID thing, which, of course, when you think about all the people that are suffering and the people that are going through terrible stuff right now with their health, that's enough to get anybody depressed. And then, of course, in this country, it's the politics. It doesn't matter which side you're on, there is depression going on about how you feel about things. There's unrealized expectations. There's negative thinking about people, news, life events, weather. There's a feeling of lack of control of yourself, control of your life, control of your trading. There's a sense of loss and limitation and not having enough resources. So many people are going through, you see these horrible lines going on all over the United States and the world. And then people are getting into addictive behavior, eating too much. I see my friends and myself gaining weight. They're drinking, they're smoking, they're taking drugs, and just the general toxic environment is very difficult. And people forget to set goals. They forget to make a plan. They don't have a schedule. Sometimes I don't even know which day of the week it is. I have to remind myself. So now that we've looked at, the reasons for people depressed, now what do we do about it? How do we overcome it? The first thing I tell people is to know their own strategy for getting out of depression and negative thoughts. And what I mean by that is think about a time that you were going through a depression for some reason. And think about the time that you overcame it. Now, what did you do between the time you had the depression and the time you overcame the depression? Because that's your strategy for overcoming the depression. And it could be that you talk to a few friends. It could be that you listen to some DVDs, cassettes. It could be that you did something that no one else is thinking of. But that is your strategy. And the thing that you did just before you came out of it, that is the particular point you should consider replicating. So you don't have to go through an hour, a day, a week of depression. Now, my personal way of getting out of depression, and I'm sure many of you don't want to do this, but I clean and I organize, because what happens is I find that it organizes my mind when I do this. Mm-hmm. Other choices that you can make is, first, healthy choices of food, relaxation, exercise, and sleep. You need a balance, a control of all of these things. Keep in touch with positive people, meetup groups, social media. You don't want to, I know you want to help maybe toxic people, but you don't want to have them as a regular menu in your life, because they will pull you down. I have a friend in Greece, and I don't know what it is about our relationship, but for some reason, the minute we get on Skype, we start laughing before we even start talking. And you know that there are people in your life like this. And if there are not people in your life, find them, because they can lift your spirit. Whenever I talk to her, I feel so good after our Skype conversation.
Wow, that's
do
good.
all of the things that you wanted to do if you had enough time. Many of us who are stuck in our houses and we're not getting out in life, and we have a bunch of time, you have this list. Oh, if I only had enough time, I'd write a book. If I only had enough time, I'd clean the garage. If I only had enough time, I would spend more time with people. Well, this is your time for many people to do those kind of things. Read, look, listen to positive things. Learn new skills. Learn a language. Everybody always says, oh, if I had the time, I'd love to learn a new language. Well, maybe this is your time. Set easy goals to accomplish. You need to feel a sense of purpose. So whether it's cleaning out your desk or
we gotta pay a few bills, dear. So stay with us. We'll be right back with Adrian Togaray, Trading on Target, folks.
Hi folks, this is Tom O'Brien. The printing presses are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The U.S. deficit has risen 200% in 1 year with no end in sight. The markets are looking for an additional stimulus bill to get us through this once-in-a-generation pandemic. There is no free lunch, folks. The more stimulus dollars put into the marketplace, the less your dollar is worth each and every day. This is the time to protect yourself with a portion of your portfolio in the metal market. The Gold Report comes out each Monday morning. I bisect and dissect the dollar, silver, gold, the XAU, and the HUI. The Gold Report is a long-term hedge against the dilution of your buying power. The U.S. has put more than $6 trillion into the marketplace in the last 6 months, with more expected in the next few months. The market did and does need the stimulus, but it will have long-term implications on our buying power. The Gold Report comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to TFNN.com and order the Gold Report now. Protect your buying power. Order the Gold Report now.
Will the S&P 500 continue to climb? For bold trades on U.S. large-cap stocks in either direction, trade SPXL, SPUU, or SPXS. Direction's daily S&P 500 bull and bear leveraged ETFs. Direction leveraged ETFs. An investor should carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses before investing. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, call 866-476-7523 or visit directioninvestments.com. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
The Bull Bear Trading Hour with Tom and Tommy O'Brien. Next.
Okay, back, folks, with Adrian Tolgray trading on target. You want to continue, AT?
Yes, we were talking about clinical depression versus emotional depression, and we're talking about mainly emotional depression that's on a temporary basis that so many people are going through. The last thing I was talking about in overcoming depression was setting easy goals to accomplish. You need to feel a sense of purpose. Another thing that you can do is count your blessings. I know there's a lot of stuff that you're not doing. For me, not getting massages, not going into my tank of water, my sensory deprivation tank, I forgot the name of it, and not seeing friends and not going to restaurants. Those things are important to my life. I spend a lot of time at home, but just being able to get out and mix with people, that's very difficult for me. But I do have a tremendous amount of blessings as well. So count the things that you do have in your life and focus on them. Find reasons to celebrate. Create new ways of celebration. Yes, you might not be able to get together with all the people that you want for your holidays, but fortunately, these days we do have Zoom and Skype and Facebook, and we have all of these ways of communicating that they didn't have many years ago when they were going through similar type things. Learn from your mistakes. Look back in your life and use these mistakes as treasures, because if you can learn from your mistakes as well as your accomplishments, you're doubly blessed. Mm-hmm. And of course, donate time, energy, good feelings. Whatever you give out to the world, it comes back to you like a boomerang. If you give out negative stuff, it'll come back to you. If you give out positive stuff, it'll come back to you. Another thing is meditate. Meditate to de-stress yourself. We have so many things to look at in life that are negative, but we also have so many things to look at in life that are positive, which brings me to trading and how these depressions affect you as a trader. When you are emotionally involved in trading, you are going to make mistakes. So you have to ask yourself in the morning, how do I feel physically, mentally, emotionally? And if you are not feeling well that day, you better have a strategy to overcome that, or what's going to happen is you will make mistakes. You will lose in trading. Another strategy that you can do for yourself in your trading, and this is for your whole life. Go back to everything bad that's ever happened to you, every loss that you've ever had that's ever happened to you, and rethink it. You know, the time that I lost in a baseball game, the time that they fired me, the time that someone divorced me. Think back to those times and restate the story of those times in a positive way. I can remember when I went through a divorce, and at that time it was the most painful thing that I had gone through. And I look back to it now, and I thank my ex-husband, because I wouldn't have done all the things. I wouldn't have written the 15 books. I wouldn't have written the 10 screenplays. I wouldn't have traveled all over the world if I stayed married to him. And I thank him. I thank him. I wish I could thank him now for that divorce. But look back to your life and all of the stuff that you have gone through, and what is the lesson? What is the good part of that story? And there is a good part. There is a lesson. There is something you can learn, because all of those things that you have gone through in your life are the key moments of what you can take with you now to become better at everything that you do. Those are the things that are holding you back, and those are the things that can push you forward. And I would say that if you're going through stuff right now, and I'm going to call it stuff because you know it weighs you down. Think of it as a whole bunch of stuff in your hands, and you just keep tossing those things away. You keep tossing those things away, and then see a light. And grab that light and bring that light into you. Bring it into every part of your body. And look at the markets in a way that gives you the kind of hope and the information that you need to succeed in the markets. Because no matter, you know, if there are these big machines that are taking out your stops, no matter what happens, the one thing that I know for sure is that there are people making money in the markets. There are people that are earning a great deal of money in the markets. And they're doing it because they're going beyond their strategy. They're going beyond their strategy because they've stuck to their strategy for a while to get to the point of where Larry is. Larry is at that point of intuition, of knowing that he knows beyond what the markets are telling him, beyond being at one with everyone in the markets. That is the key to success. But you can't do that if you're in a depressed state, if you're holding on to a lot of stuff. That is the sure way of not being able to get to that intuitive, creative part of trading. And those things are available to you. I'd like to mention the fact that to the people out there listening to this particular broadcast, I will give you a special deal on my course. I'm not going to tell you what that special deal is because every day I sell it at the same price. But give me a call. Look for me on tradingontarget.com and give me a call. And I will give you that price just by mentioning Larry's name, just by mentioning that I was on the show talking about this particular subject of depression and how to overcome it. Larry, do you have any questions, or do your listeners have any questions for me?
I don't know, but I've been mesmerized for 20 minutes just listening to you talk, but that's really good about what you're talking about. I always use that phrase from Tony Robbins, live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and I certainly go by that. And whenever I have one of those, points in my life, I try to find somebody, total stranger, and help them out without them knowing about it. And that's helped a little bit through the years. I've been very fortunate because I really believe in the give back part. How you live it is how you end up turning it around. So you're absolutely correct. Tell the folks some of the other things that you offer, AT, because we're going to have you on regularly, and we'll be able to show the folks some of the things they can work on. Because, I worked with Mark Douglas here for a while. Let's take a break here. We'll be right back. AT, stay with us, please.
Okay.
Back in the day, I joined Hotel California in 2006, and like many of you, was drawn in by, as well as...
Whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows.
You see, I believe that everything in life happens for us, not to us. And Tom ignited the fire within me to want to learn how to master the markets. So how did I go from knowing nothing about technical analysis to becoming the #1 market timer for the S&P 500 in 2018 and the #2 market timer in 2019? Simply put, I hired coaches with a proven track record, which led me to a whole new set of tools that I created to interpret the message of buyers and sellers. I would love the opportunity to teach you this award-winning set of tools and to help you improve your market timing. You can test drive my newsletter service, Mastering Probabilities, for the next 30 days with no risk to you. Plus, you'll gain access to archive workshops that'll take you step-by-step through my system. Sign up today by going to the homepage of TFNN.com and selecting Mastering Probability in the newsletter tab.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
With markets trading with extreme volatility and peaks and troughs everywhere, regardless of what you're looking at in the markets, this is a great time to see the type of analysis Basil Chapman delivers for his subscribers every market day with the Opening Call newsletter. Basil has been analyzing markets, providing his take for subscribers to his trading services since 1984. Every morning, Basil publishes an update for his subscribers, along with weekend and evening updates when warranted. The Opening Call provides traders a daily market overview with regard to the direction of the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, along with specific recommendations, including stops and targets. You also gain instant access to Basil's subscriber webinar archive from earlier this year, a dark cloud cover, and essential market analysis. Ride the Chapman wave today by signing up for the Opening Call newsletter on the front page of TFNN.com under the newsletter tab. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Sign up today.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks. We're talking with Adrian Togaray. Adrian, tell the folks how they can reach you and some of the things that you might recommend for beginners.
Well, what I recommend is my Trading on Target course. I've limited myself to the things that I offer because of the COVID situation. But the Trading on Target course has in it 12 books. 4 ebooks, and the rest are get mail, snail mail. And it also has an evaluation and consultation with me on the phone. That is worth the price of the whole course. The evaluation is no wrong or right answers. It's just how you feel about it. And by the information that I gain from you, I give you a feedback of what problems you're going to have or what problems you will have in trading before you even start, or if you started and you're a professional trader, I can tell you the psychological issues that are holding you back from each next level of success. So that is one of the items. And then the other item is, and I only do this online right now because of the COVID thing, my top performance seminar. The top performance seminar was $3,000 if you were to come and across the country or across the world to join a group of people. Now I offer the same thing, the same $3,000, but I do it on Skype. And what I do is I do it over a period of 3 half days, and I've been doing this for a long, long time, and I've seen the results are amazing when people go through this. And if people choose to, then they can come to my mentoring program after that. But they cannot come to it unless they've taken that particular course, because we have to have a foundation. So for beginners or for seasoned people, the first thing I would recommend is the Trading on Target course. And that is what I'm going to offer at a special price for those people who are listening to this today. I will not mention the special price. You have to get in touch with me at tradingontarget.com.
Hey, thanks for joining us, dear, and have a wonderful holiday. We'll have you on soon, right in the 1st of December.
Thank you, Larry, and
okay, bye-bye,
happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Bye-bye.
Yes. Stay safe. Bye-bye.